becomes her shield. Her truth is bleeding. Marie Santiago is a brave rider, fearless truth speaker, setting hearts on fire.
Shocking double standards. Why felons struggle while one becomes president, folks. Let's dive right into something that's been burning in my mind and probably in yours too. Imagine this. Everyday guys out there trying to turn their lives around after messing up in the past can't even land a basic job because of a felony on their record. On top of that, child support agencies are breathing down their necks, demanding payments and waiving jail time like a constant threat. It's like, how on earth are they supposed to come up with the money if no one's willing to give them a chance? Society slams the door shut on them, labeling them as unhireable risks. But then, flip the script. There's a man loaded with serious accusations, from felonies to assault and even child abuse claims, and somehow he's sitting in the highest office in the land as president. How does that even make sense? Today, we're unpacking this massive hypocrisy step by step, because if we're going to talk about justice and second chances in America, we have to call out when the rules bend for the powerful while crushing the average person. This isn't just a story, it's a wake-up call about the broken system we all live in, and I'm here to lay it out plain and simple, with no sugarcoating. First off, let's break down what it's really like for men, and yeah, it's mostly men in this spot, who have a felony hanging over their heads. Picture a guy who's done his time, paid his dues to society, and now he's out, ready to rebuild. He hits the job market, resume in hand, hoping for a fresh start. But bam, door after door gets slammed. Why? Because background checks are everywhere these days. Employers see that felony and think, too risky. It could be something from years ago, like a non-violent drug charge or a theft born out of desperation, but it doesn't matter. Studies show that folks with criminal records are half as likely to get a call back for an interview. We're talking about real people here, fathers, brothers, sons, who want to work in warehouses, drive trucks, or flip burgers, but they're turned away. No job means no steady paycheck, and without that, how do you pay rent, buy groceries, or support your family? It's a vicious cycle that traps them in poverty, and it pushes some right back into trouble just to survive. I've heard stories from guys who have applied to hundreds of places, only to hear crickets or flat-out rejections. It's heartbreaking and infuriating because everyone deserves a shot at redemption, right? But in this country, for too many, that shot never comes. Now, layer on the child support nightmare. These same men often have kids to provide for, and the system doesn't cut them any slack. Child support offices send letters, make calls, and if payments fall behind, even by a little, they threaten to haul you back to jail. Think about it. You're already struggling to find work because of your record, and now you're facing more time behind bars if you can't pay up. Where's the logic? How is locking someone up going to magically produce money for the kids? It doesn't. Instead, it piles on more debt, more stress, and more barriers. I mean, child support is important. Kids need to be taken care of, no question, but harassing folks who literally can't find employment isn't the answer. It's like kicking someone when they're down. And get this, in many states, if you're incarcerated, your child support debt keeps growing anyway, so you get out with an even bigger hole to climb out of. This isn't helping families, it's tearing them apart. We've got fathers who want to be there for their children, but the system treats them like deadbeats without considering the bigger picture. It's a setup for failure, and it's happening to thousands of people every day across America. But hold on, because here's where the double standard hits like a ton of bricks. While these everyday men are fighting tooth and nail just to get by, we've got a figure who's faced a laundry list of serious allegations and convictions, yet he rises to become president of the United States. Let's lay it out clearly so everyone understands the contrast. This isn't about politics in a partisan way, it's about fairness and accountability. Take Donald Trump, for example. He's been convicted on 34 felony counts related to falsifying business records to cover up hush money payments. That's real, documented felonies. On top of that, there are accusations of assault from multiple women, including claims that go back years, and even findings in court where he was held liable for sexual abuse in a civil case. And don't forget the child abuse angle, not directly on him, but tied to associations and policies that have raised eyebrows, like separating families at the border, which many called a form of systemic abuse against children. Yet despite all this, he wins elections, rallies massive crowds, and steps into the Oval Office. How? Because power and influence change the rules. The same society that won't hire a reformed felon for a minimum wage gig cheers for a man with a rap sheet longer than a CVS receipt when he's got billions and a platform. Let me explain why this stings so bad. For the average Joe with a felony, that record is a life sentence in itself. No voting rights in some states, no access to certain housing, no professional licenses for things like plumbing or teaching. But for someone like Trump, felonies seem like speed bumps. He can appeal, delay, and use his wealth to fight back, all while portraying himself as a victim of a witch hunt. Meanwhile, the guy down the street can't even get an interview at Walmart. It's not just unfair, it's a blatant example of how the justice system favors the elite. Think about the message this sends to young people, especially in communities hit hard by mass incarceration. Work hard, stay out of trouble, we tell them, but then they see a president who's broken laws and still thrives. It erodes trust in the whole system. And let's be real, being anti-MAGA isn't about hating people. It's about rejecting this kind of hypocrisy where rules apply to some but not others. We need leaders who lift everyone up, not just themselves. To make this even clearer, let's look at some real-world impacts. Ex-felons often end up in low-paying, unstable gigs if they're lucky, things like day labor or under-the-table work that doesn't offer benefits or security. Child support enforcement can garnish wages, but if there are no wages, straight to threats of arrest. In fact, over 1 million people are jailed each year for child support debt alone, many of whom are poor and jobless due to their records. Contrast that with a president who, despite his legal troubles, commands loyalty from millions and shapes national policy. He's got teams of lawyers, media spin, and a base that dismisses his issues as fake news. This isn't equality under the law, it's privilege on steroids, and it affects us all when leaders aren't held accountable. It sets a dangerous precedent. Policies get twisted, justice gets selective, and the little guy pays the price. So what's the fix? We have to demand better. Push for laws that give real second chances, like ban the box initiatives where employers can't ask about criminal history right away. Reform child support so it focuses on support services, like job training instead of just punishment, and hold everyone accountable no matter their status. If felonies disqualify you from flipping burgers, they should disqualify you from the presidency too. This isn't radical, it's common sense. America prides itself on opportunity, but right now, that's a myth for too many. We can change it by speaking up, voting thoughtfully, and supporting those who have been left behind. In wrapping this up, I want you to really think about these stories: the struggling dad versus the powerful leader. It's not just news, it's a mirror to our society. We deserve better, and together we can fight for it. If this message spoke to you, even just a little, stay connected with me by following. Your support truly matters more than you realize, and every moment you take to listen is deeply appreciated. Please leave a like on this video and share your thoughts in the comments after hearing the story. Follow and subscribe so you never miss what comes next. Your support keeps the space alive. It costs nothing, yet it means everything to me. Showing love through engagement helps me continue creating, speaking truth, and showing up consistently. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for listening, for supporting, and for standing with me. Crowning Thoughts, True Speaker, Copyright 2025 by Santiago D.C. Maria, licensed under Creative Commons Attribution. I love you all. I appreciate every one of you, and I thank you for your time. Stay blessed.